This is where you've made the story. Last November, we featured World War I hero Harry Dunn. Now, despite returning home safely to Bristol at the end of the conflict, Harry died shortly afterwards. A new headstone had recently been placed in Arnos Vale Cemetery, but sadly there were no relatives to honour Harry. So we asked for your help to find them. And you didn't let us down. Tracy Miller has the story.
The Great War. An estimated 9 million soldiers were killed.
Within hours, the British Expeditionary Force was on its way. They were to be the first in the greatest human sacrifice in history.
In that force was 19-year-old soldier Harry Dunn, a driver who took care of the horses that pulled the heavy guns. Harry fought on the Western Front, survived the war only to return home and die within a few weeks from pneumonia.
Remember your servant, O Lord, according to your favour, which you bear unto all your people.
Over 100 years later, a service of rededication has been held alongside the new headstone in Arnos Vale, where he's buried.
To celebrate, commemorate the sacrifice and service that he gave to this nation.
Remarkably, at this dedication are some of Harry Dunn's relatives, family that had no idea of his service and sacrifice. Related through Harry's mother, they've been found after we asked Points West viewers to help find his family.
It's just incredible to think about. So many people died, so many youngsters died, and he survived and wasn't even recognised after he survived. It's quite a story, yeah.
Harry's family story was one of hardship. His siblings were separated when their parents died, and 2 of them were sent by Barnardo's to Canada. This branch of the family has also been found, and this is where Harry's war medals were sent.
Well, I remember the medals as a child. I remember my dad speaking about them. At this point, we don't know where the medals are, but I do know that they existed, and we're still sifting through photo albums.
The search for a photograph of Harry continues to complete the picture of his life.
Looking through pictures, there was one picture that was printed on a little sheet of copper.
I took it out of the photo album and there was nothing written with it. So yeah, that's why we sent them forward to see if maybe somebody could identify the uniform.
With the help of Points West viewers, a family thousands of miles apart have been brought together to discover and remember the 23-year-old Harry Dunn who made the ultimate sacrifice. Tracy Miller, BBC Points West, Bristol.
Thank you, Tracy, and I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by 3 of Harry's relatives. With me here in the studio is Andrew Keepin, whose dad Reg you saw there in Tracy's report, and live from Ontario in Canada we have Beth and George. That's Harry's great niece and nephew. Hello to all of you. Andrew, just share with us what this journey has been like. You found out about Harry and you've also found each other.
We've just been on an emotional roller coaster these last 3 months. Before November, we really didn't know Harry's story or his family's story. But since the report has gone out, we've done a huge amount of work digging around his backstory. We know all the battles that he's fought in, and now we're beginning to find family related to Harry, which is just incredible. Even more incredible that they live in Canada. It
is, and Beth and George, welcome to Points West. We found you too, our Canadian family.
Yeah, there's more of us.
Yes.
What do you feel about the connection? It's amazing. We're just so glad that you guys did all this work for us, and now we've met Andrew and his sister and seen pictures of their kids and everything. It's fantastic.
We've enjoyed the journey, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's been fascinating for us just following it, but the difficulty is that we haven't seen what Harry looks like. No, so, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it, to actually picture what he might be like when we're remembering him.
Yeah, it really would be the icing on the cake if we could try and get a photo of him. So if anyone's out there that does have a photo, we'd be over the moon.
Okay, because you did have something, but you weren't sure whether or not it is Harry.
No, we had that oval picture that we passed forward, and we weren't sure who it was. Actually, it just said on the back that it was William's father, and then somebody else had written on it. I think it was my mother that said my father's grandfather. So we're not really sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we did enlist the help of our friends in the army. In fact, Harry's own regiment, which happens to be just across the road from us here in Whiteladers Road. We've shown them the photograph, and they've told us that the man is wearing the correct uniform for that time and their regiment. So that's helpful. But he is also wearing a badge, if you look closely, on his hat, which shows us his role, and he is wearing a driver's badge.
Oh, wow.
So they believe beyond any reasonable doubt that this is indeed your relative driver, Harry Dunn.
That's amazing.
That's wonderful.
That is incredible. Lost for words.
Yeah, it is. It is. We are as sure as it can be that is Harry as a young man.
Oh.
Yeah. He does look like my one son.
Mm-hmm. He certainly does.
Yeah.
And we've looked at so many old photo albums, but with no one from our parents' generation able to look with us, we weren't sure who was who, because people didn't always think to write on the back of a photo.
No, they didn't. Yeah. But when you're looking at the grave now, it makes a difference, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Oh, it so does. We know that he was only 5'3".
No.
And as you can probably see from myself, we're not a very tall family. So yeah, we knew we were related to Harry as soon as we knew his height.
Okay.
But now we've got a photo. So.
Well, we did take the liberty of popping out and printing off your picture and framing it, and here he is. At the top, handsome lad. I mean, he's been gone for over 100 years, but of course he'll always be that age in our hearts. And when we look at that, we can also think of all the other Harrys who haven't been recognised. So
Yes.
that is for you. And it's where can this go from here? Is there any other investigations that you can do, or is that Harry's story told?
I think my father put it the best way when he said, we're not revisiting an old chapter here, we're actually writing a new one. And I think it would be fantastic if we can get these guys over from Canada to meet us, and we can go to the grave together. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Well, what do you think?
We're going to do it.
It's not easy to get to the UK with prices and so on, but do you think you might be up for a visit?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yes.
We're coming.
Okay.
There might be quite a bunch of us.
Well, the more the merrier. The more the merrier. Thanks very much indeed for joining us, and thanks for helping us to piece together this mystery. Thank you.
Thank you guys for all the work you have done.
Thank you very
much.
Nice to see you all.
You too.
And you can read Harry's story so far on the BBC News website, but do get in touch if you think you can add to it. Any more information, gratefully received.